And that is 5 seconds officially being called. That is number 8 out there. Rockzilla for Rat City. And that is going to be Rockzilla as your lead jammer in this first jam. And number 89 there, Apollo for Wasatch, is going to pick up a penalty. They thought they were clear. Not quite, though. And that is Rockzilla re-entering the pack, fighting past that last blocker in the front, trying to find space, and now picking up 4 points. Coming back in the pack, taking that inside line, bump to the inside. Other team tries to recycle her back, but her teammates said, nah, you can stop it right there. Apollo is now back in the pack, finding space on that outside. Now one last blocker, two blockers, and finding space in between them to get out. Rockzilla is going to go ahead and call that jam after picking up 4 points. Looks like Pony O'Neill's out there for Rat City against Knuckles. Both jammers trying to fight through the pack. Lots of reforming in there. Rat City knocked to the inside, gets a little bit of help, decides to take the outside instead, and is now your lead jammer. Knuckles now out of the pack as well. Gonna try and pick up some points. Let's see, there were 2 points scored there for Rat City. That brought their score up to 10. Wasatch still trying to get on the board. Still early. All right, both jammers trying to find that little bit of space that's ever left on the outside. Nice hit there. And that's Devil's Ivy out there as your lead jammer. One last blocker for Rat City, and they have made it out now. I think that's number 314, Bip out there for Wasatch Roller Derby. Both jammers deciding to try and take opposite directions. And that's Furious George out there as your lead jammer. Taking that inside, doing a couple hippity hops. Now to the outside. Barely even touched there, picking up 4 points. And that's sheer force out there for Rat City. All right, Rat City taking that outside line back to the inside. But Wasatch is going to take that inside line, thinking skinny, and doing it lovely. Picking up lead jammer. Rat City following out behind. And that's Glow Job out there. Picking up some points and going to call it. They did pick up 2 points on that jam. And that is 3 scores in a row for Wasatch. What's that? Rat City trying to take that outside line while Wasatch is coming up the center, getting a little bit of offensive help, and that's going to be Wasatch that's out there as your lead jammer. Although there is some beautiful footwork there by Rat City. Apollo re-entering the pack, getting past those blockers, going to decide to call it, picking up 3 points. And that was a lead change. Wasatch is now in the lead with 14 points to Rat City's 12. I think that's Ponyboy Hurtis. And beautiful right through there. Nice and easy. That's Knuckles out there as your lead jammer. Not too far behind is Ponyboy Hurts. Coming through the middle there and is going to call it before Ponyboy Hurts can re-enter the pack, picking up 3 points. Taking the score up to 17 for Wasatch, keeping Rat City scoreless at 12. Wasatch tries to take that inside line, is bumped in, decides to cycle back. Rat City trying to side surf around that outside. That's Devil's Ivy that is out there for Wasatch as your lead jammer. Bumping to the inside. Roxzilla is now out of the pack on a scoring pass. Wasatch is going to go ahead and call that after picking up all 4 points. And there is going to be a team timeout for Rat City. Wasatch is up to 21 points now. Rat City still at 12. Wasatch is doing a really good job at keeping Rat City scoreless. They haven't scored in 5 jams. Let's see what Rat City can do to kind of turn this momentum around. That's probably why they took this time out. Take a little bit of time to regroup, reset, refocus. So hard to see numbers from this side. Furious George trying to take that inside line is denied. Stabby Cat trying to make their way through that front of the pack, getting a little bit of offensive help there. Trying to find space, create some momentum with those Wasatch blockers. That tough wall there, they've really been holding it down so far in this game. And that is Rat City. That's going to be out there as your jammer, Stabby Cat number 23. Going to decide to keep running it. Furious George still trying to find any space they can to get out of that pack, get on that scoring pass. They do make it out now. Going to see if they can score some points. That is 3 points put up there on the board for Rat City, bringing their score up to 15 to Wasatch's 21. We have about 20 minutes left in this first half. And that looks like it's going to be Glow Job against Made in China. Glow Job trying to take that inside while Made in China goes to the out. Switching positions. Now both on the outside. That is going to be Glow Job as your lead jammer. Made in China's trying to get out. There's going to be a forearm that's assessed to a blocker. Glow Job back in through the pack. Is going to call it after picking up 3 points. Score is now 24 points for Wasatch Midnight Terrors against Rat City Reign of Terror. This is just a terrible game. Get it?
You're so punny.
All right, Ponyboy Hurtis back out there for Rat City. Apollo out there for Wasatch, and it's going to be Apollo that picks up your lead jam. Ponyboy Hurtis still trying to fight in the back. Going to decide to be an extra blocker there, leaving 2 of the Wasatch blockers up in the front. The cover is off the head now, but Ponyboy Hurtis is recycled back to the inside and now has to find the pivot all over again, and does. It is now going to be number 3, Master Bowder. That is going to be your jammer for Rat City. That's 4 more points that were put up on the board for Apollo. And there is a penalty that's being assessed to a Rat City blocker. And this is now a power jam for Rat City's pivot, because there was also a star pass. Let's see if they can really make a dent in this, bring the score a little bit closer. Let's see, trying to weave through 3 more blockers in the front of the pack. As that tripod really settles in the front. Master Bowder is really trying to find any possible way through. Going to get a little bit of offensive help coming in there from the box, which was semi-successful. It did bring it down to only 2 blockers in the front, but there is a Rat City blocker going back to the box there. While Master Bowder is bumped to the inside line, that jam has come to its natural conclusion because it was a 2-minute jam. That was also the highest scoring jam of the game with 11 points for Wasatch, bringing their score to 35 to Rat City's 19. And there is an official review that is going to be called. I really like the yellow that Rat City has going on. I'm a fan of the neons and the brights myself, so I can appreciate that. Born in Boulder, Colorado in 2010, Keef Brands is a leader in the cannabis beverage space with a suite of products that offer a new generation of consumers an alternative to alcohol and an innovative new way to celebrate. Have fun and enjoy life. Keef Brands. Make sure you guys in-house remember to go check out our vendors in the back. Lots of good stuff going on back there. Got some tattoos going on, getting some hydrating IV therapy, Planned Parenthood, which does so many amazing things. We got some massage back there, Body Breakdown by Blue. We got Twisted Sewing, some unique bags, purses, wallets, skate leashes, and more. Got Bug and Bee characters. I really want to get some characters drawn. Every time I go someplace, I'm like, I'm going to get it done. But this time, I'm going to get it done. Also, thank you, Arizona, for hosting this tournament, getting all of these beautiful people together here to skate today and over this weekend. Appreciate all that you do. That one's coming from me, not from the announcer, Reed. Right, the first half of this half. It's only about a 16-point game between these two teams. Really can't wait to see how the rest of this game unfolds. All right, Knuckles is out there against Sheer Force. Sorry. And that is going to be Knuckles as your lead jammer. Sheer Force being bumped to the inside. Back up against that Wasatch wall. Knuckles making it through, picking up 4 points on that inside line. Sheer Force trying to really spread out that pack, slowly getting those droppers to block one by one. Knuckles trying to make it on the outside and denied by number 226 there, Terrorbyte. And that is a Rat City blocker that is going to be heading to the box there, while Knuckles picked up 4 more points on that pass. A little tumble there, trying to hang on to that outside line there. No pack is called, and Sheer Force is now out. Knuckles trying to fight past those last few blockers, getting the call from her bench to call it. And she does, leaving Rat City scoreless on that jam, but picking up 2 points themselves. That was an 11-point jam for Wasatch there, leaving them at 46 to Rat City's 19. Devil's Ivy out there on the jam line against Rockzilla. And nice and fast on that outside line. Little skateboard push there. Devil's Ivy is your lead jammer. Roxzilla trying to find their way. It's going to take that cover off their head. Going to see if they can get a star pass, but decides to just hang on to it. Little star stash. Doing some nice footwork around that outside line there. Roxzilla has now made it out of the pack. Devil's Ivy trying to get, pass through that last little bit. Bump to the inside, decides to call it before any points can be scored on the other side. They did pick up 3 points. Wasatch is now up to 49 points to Rat City's 19. Made in China and Furious George out there. Made in China goes towards that inside line, trying to tiptoe, not quite making it. Oh, see. Furious George going from the outside to the inside, hopping on one leg. But Furious George finds a little tiny sliver of space on that inside line. Picks up lead jammer. Made in China out, not too far behind. Some beautiful offensive work there by the Wasatch Wall, leaving their jammer untouched, picking up 4 points. Looking up there is definitely helping for the difference. We have Glow Job and Stabby Cat out there. We have a Wasatch pivot in the box. Glow Job taking a little tumble to the inside, being recycled back. While Stabby Cat still trying to push their way through that front tripod there. Wasatch has some really tough walls there. Trying to move in and out and in and out. Stabby Cat trying to find that little bit of space. Glow Job also still trying to push. Stabby Cat keeps getting denied by those Wasatch blockers as well as Glow Job. All the blockers out there are doing a great job, but it's Glow Job that gets out there on that inside line picking up lead jammer, while Stabby Cat is going to go ahead and pick up a cut track. Glow Job re-entering that pack there. Sending some bodies flying, making their way through, picking up 4 points. There's a Wasatch blocker going to the box for a direction. Glow Job coming back into the pack. Ooh. Sent some bodies flying, but then is knocked down. It's going to find their way on the inside of that track. Stabby Cat now back out on the track. I heard there's a direction that's going to be called now on a Rat City blocker. Glow Job's going to go ahead and call it from the ground after getting the call from the bench, leaving Rat City scoreless. There is now an official review that's going to be called from Rat City. The score now is 57 points for Wasatch Roller Derby. Rat City still hanging on to their 19.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
was talking about this earlier. Am I looking at tomorrow? Maybe the game before? No. Yeah, that's why I was like. Yeah. Noon should be good. Right? I was like, because I know we have a team dinner tomorrow too. Because we have team dinner tonight and then team dinner tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So noon. Roxilla and Apollo out there. And it's going to be Roxilla as your lead jammer. Beautiful defensive work there by Rat City, taking that jammer all the way to the line. But Wasatch is now also out of the pack. Roxilla now re-entering. And I don't even know what happened. She tried to jump, call it off, feet in the air. And this now breaks Wasatch's 6th lead streak. Apollo. Knuckles and Maiden China hanging out there behind the jam line. Wasatch sitting on top of that pack. Maiden China trying to get a little bit of offensive help there. Still pushing in the front, trying to get that pack to really spread out. Knuckles fighting in the back. That pack really staying nice and tight there. Both jammers really trying to find any space that they can. And it's Maiden China for Rat City that's going to be your lead jammer. Knuckles still trying to get a little bit of help from their friend. Maiden China hit to that inside line, being recycled back. That was number 3-4, Bip. We have a Wasatch blocker going to the box. While that jam comes to an end. Were there? There were 3 points. 4 points? It looks like that were picked up for Rat City. Devil's Ivy and Ponyboy Hurtis back there. No pack called. But they were formed pretty quickly. Nobody got a penalty from it. And Rat City is your lead jammer. Ponyboy Hurtis doing some lovely tiptoes on that apex there. Devil's Ivy trying to find their space. Taking the cover off their helmet. Trying to see if they can find their pivot, which they didn't need. It was just a little star stash. Ponyboy Hurtis also out of the pack now, picking up 4 points. And decides to call it. Rat City now has 31 points to Wasatch's 59. Going to see if they can close that gap there a little bit. Was it? Is it 28 points? Rockzilla and Furious George making their way. Rockzilla out as your lead jammer. Rat City must have changed something up a little bit during that official review. And there is a forearm now that is going to be assessed to the Rat City jammer. Let's see if Wasatch can take advantage of it. Furious George tried to find a little space on the outside line, tried to hang on to it the last second, but did go out and made the correct decision to go back to avoid a cut track penalty. So this will be a 2-minute jam. Furious George re-entering the pack. Trying to make it a nice, tight, slow pack there. Rat City pushes Furious George out to the outside, to the inside. Wow, Rock is now back in the pack, fighting against that 4-wall in the top, which is now a 3-wall. He's going to push and try and get as much space as she can away from the other pack. And there's a forearm that's being assessed to a Wasatch blocker there. They get to go take a little timeout in the box. Their jammer's still trying to get out of this pack, while Rockzilla has picked up 4. Rockzilla, I'm sorry, against those last 2 blockers, got a little bit of offensive help there. Furious George just trying to get past those big blockers. See some big hits there. It's very tiring as a jammer. Rockzilla, some lovely side surfing there around those blockers, picking up 4 more points, while Wasatch's jammer has now gotten out of the pack. And that is the end of that jam, folks. That was a 12-point jam for Rat City Roller Derby. I believe that's the highest for them so far, bringing their score to 43 to Wasatch's 63. It's now only a 20-point game with about 4 minutes left in this half. And we have Glow Job and Made in China out there on the jam line. Little tumbles in the back. Glow Job fighting against that Rat City wall. But that's going to be Rat City out on that outside line. Made in China as your lead jammer. Glow Job knocked to that inside line, recycled back. While Made in China re-approaches that pack, getting a little bit of offensive help there. Pushing that pack forward. Now only a tripod. Forcing one of those blockers to have to bridge. Glow Drop still trying to get out from that Rat City wall in the back. This is now Rat City's 5th lead in a row. And there is a destruction going to a Wasatch blocker, while Made in China picks up 4 points. Made in China tiptoeing on that inside line. It is good. Picking up 4 more points. Ooh. Glow Job still trying to make their way out of this pack on their initial pass. While this is Made in China's 3rd scoring pass. Made in China getting past that last blocker on 1 foot. Picking up 4 points. There's about 17 seconds left in this jam. Let's see if any more points can be scored. Really trying to close that score gap there. Let's see. 3 points were picked up for Rat City. Now it is only a 5-point game, and that was the highest scoring jam for Rat City. Their score is now 58 points to Wasatch's 63. Less than 2 minutes left in this half. That was a nice comeback. It's a nice close game right now. That's just what Rat City needed. And Ponyboy Hurtis and Apollo are out there, and that's Apollo as your lead jammer. Ponyboy Hurtis trying to find that way. Getting recycled back. There is a cut track being assessed. Oh, it looks like it's being assessed to Ponyboy Hurtis. So this is a power jam for Apollo, who I'm sure wants to increase that score gap. Some little hopping through the pack, picking up 4. There's some good one-on-one offense there, keeping their jammer untouched. Wasatch did a good job of getting through those first 2 blockers, then got caught back up. Let's see, getting past the last blocker there, picking up 4 points. There has been a star pass for Rat City. And there's a penalty going to a Wasatch blocker. Looks like it was a failure to reform or illegal contact. And that is the end of that half. That was a 20-point jam for Wasatch there. They didn't like that last jam. They said, hold on. We gotta answer some of those points. Wasatch is also going to be calling an official review here. The score at the half is 85 points for Wasatch and 58, for Rat City. That little palindrome there got me. 85 to 58. 5 and 8 are both of my favorite numbers. I was born on the 5th and born in 88.
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win, every loss, every team, every season, everybody. We've got you covered.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win, every loss, every team, every season, everybody. We've got you covered.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
After the halftime. So right now, still anybody's game. Not that far of a lead there for Wasatch. Excited to see how the rest of this plays out. And that whistle is the official end of our intermission. And it looks like Made in China is out there for Rat City and Apollo for Wasatch. Both jammers up here in turn 1. But Apollo gets out first and is your lead jammer while oh, no. Yes. Okay, Apollo is your lead jammer. Followed not too far behind by Made in China. That was a good job there for Apollo, sneaking those hips in, picking up 2 points before Made in China can pick up any. It's now a 30-point game, leaving Wasatch with 88 and Rat City 58. And again, we have Roxilla and Knuckles out on that jam line squaring off. Roxilla trying to take the outside, being bumped out by Colonel Skirts. It's going to be Knuckles as your lead jammer. Knuckles reapproaching the pack here. Being told by the bench to call it, picking up 2 more points. I mean, as long as you score a point or 2 and leave your opponents scoreless, you can easily win a game that way. It's not always about those big jams. Stabby Cat and Devil's Ivy out there. And Devil's Ivy is your lead jammer. Stabby Cat now out of the pack. Devil's Ivy re-entering, trying to find any space, being told by the bench to call it. They do pick up 3 points. Slowly adding to their lead now. Furious George out there, and I believe Made in China. Both jammers hitting the pack. Nice, slow, tight pack right now. Got Furious George up in the front. Pushing while Made in China's getting their way past that last blocker, picking up lead jammer. And that is the first lead of the half for Rat City. Made in China coming back in, getting some offensive help, trying to take that outside line there, fighting against 2 blockers, while Furious George is still trapped in the back there, trying to fight really hard. Made in China picked up 4 points on that pass. Furious George does have the cover off of their helmet. Made in China. It looks like she's looking for a little bit of offensive help from her friends. Furious George really making that pack work in the back. And there's a forearm being assessed to a Wasatch blocker there. And there was a star pass. It looks like it's Booty Queen that is now your jammer for Wasatch. And there is a forearm being assessed to a Rat City blocker. Booty Queen approaching, missing that booty, picking up 4 points. And that is going to be the end of that jam. There were 4 points picked up by Wasatch there, leaving their score at 97. Rat City picked up 12 points for 70. Now a 27-point game. Less than 25 minutes left in this half. Glow Job and Rockzilla out there on the jam line. Glow Job taking that outside line, picking up lead jammer. Rockzilla being recycled back after trying to take the inside. They find that space on that outside, though, and are now out of the pack while Glow Job re-enters, tries to pick up all the points she can. She does pick up 3 points for Wasatch. And that puts them at the century mark. Apollo and Stabby Cat back out there. Both jammers approaching the pack, and it is going to be Apollo that takes that inside line, picking up lead jammer. Wasatch trying to hold containment on Stabby Cat, but she's being a little Stabby Cat. They are out of the pack now. And Apollo is going to call that jam off after picking up 4 points. And there is a timeout that's going to be called by Rat City. Time for a little regroup. Still doing really well as far as penalty-wise. Both teams playing very clean. Only 12 for Wasatch and 10 for Rat City. That's pretty low for the whole team. Official timeout now. I think we're making sure that we have some paperwork that's in order. Well, we got to make sure all of our officials are in their designated spots before we start anything, because all of their positions are very important. And remember, you could be one of them too. I think it's Made in China and Knuckles that are out there now. And that is going to be Knuckles as your lead jammer. Made in China removing the star. seeing if they can make some progress. Knuckles has now re-entered the pack. Bouncing around those Rat City blockers. Maiden dropped the star pass, had to take a second to pick that back up. Or the cover. Maiden being bumped to the inside. While Knuckles is back. Knuckles being recycled back. Going to see if they can score any more points. And is going to call. After picking up 2 more points. For a total of 6 in that jam. So the score is 110 to 70. Wasatch doing a good job at extending this lead a little bit. Now a 40-point game. Under 22 minutes left. Rockzilla and Devil's Ivy back out there. Rockzilla going to the outside, going to the inside, being bumped out on the out. Trying to make those walls move. Devil's Ivy was trying to take that outside line there, but was denied by number 42, Velvet Hammer. But Devil's Ivy did make it through the rest of those blockers and picks up your lead jammer status. Rockzilla does have the star off, trying to pass it to their friend. Take a little break there. Devil's Ivy trying to get past the last few blockers of the Rat City wall. Does find the space. Picks up 4 points. Rockzilla still going from that inside to the outside. There's a forearm being assessed now to a Wasatch blocker, leaving it only a tripod out there, which makes it a little bit easier. Getting a little bit of offensive help from their friends, but that wall was very quick to reform. Devil's Ivy is trying to get past these tough blockers right now. Pick up some more points to extend that lead. Ivy takes a little tumble to the inside. Goes around to the outside. Rockzilla tried to take the inside. And there is a low block assessed after that hit. So now Wasatch has another blocker that's in the box. Makes it a little easier for Rockzilla, although I'm sure it's still not easy at all against those blockers. And they're going to go ahead and call that after picking up 4 points. Score is now 118 to 70. They're just slowly climbing away. Right, it's really the second half of the games that matter. And now there is an official review that's going to be happening. This event is sponsored by Sisu Mouthguards, trusted by roller derby athletes for comfort, protection, and a custom fit. Play hard, stay protected with Sisu. And that is Stabby Cat and Glow Job out there right now. Glow Job fighting in the back while Stabby Cat has established the front. Trying to muscle through both of those walls. They're both just hanging together nice and tight, nice and slow and low, as blockers like to be. There's a little bump to the outside line. Recycled back. Stabby Cat now back through, and that's going to be Glow Job as your lead jammer. Stabby Cat still trying to make it out on their initial, while Glow Job makes it through, picking up 3 points. She took a good start pass. How many scoreless jams is it? 5, 6? Made in China and Apollo back out there fighting on your jam line. Made in China making their way to the front of the pack. Apollo being bumped to that outside. Tried to hold in with that one hand. While Made in China still fighting past that 3 wall. Does some tiptoe work. Does pick up your lead jammer. Forearm penalty being assessed to a Rat City blocker. Made in China is now reapproaching the pack. Ooh. Tried to get a little bit of help from their friend, but Apollo denied that request. And Booty Queen back out there as a jammer. I believe there was a star pass. Maiden thought they were out of that pack, but not quite. Being recycled back, going past that last blocker, hopping right behind the hips, and then going right for it. That was 4 points picked up for both teams. Made in China tries to sneak along the inside. Bounces off of that wall, though. I think there was 1 point. 1 point that was picked up. So that was 6 points for Rat City in that jam, leaving them at 76. 5 points for Wasatch, and they have 126. 50 points. Rockzilla and Knuckles fighting it out there. Knuckles in the back of the pack. Rockzilla trying to get that wall to move, find any space they can. Some beautiful toe work there on that outside line by Knuckles, who picks up lead jammer. Rocky trying to get past that Wasatch wall. They're giving them such a hard time. But they are out of that wall. Knuckles now through the pack, picking up 4 points, and is going to call it. We have about less than 15 minutes left in the game. 54-point lead for Wasatch. Stabby Cat and Devil's Ivy going to be duking it out. Stabby Cat making their way to the front, getting their friend to hold a little bit of space so they have the opportunity to push that wall through. 2 blockers left in the front of that pack for Stabby Cat. A little tumble makes it easy for them to pick up that lead jammer. While Devil's Ivy is now also out of the pack, finding some space on the outside there. Stabby Cat reapproaching. See if any points can get scored. No packs called. Gets taken to the ground, is going to call it off, but picks up 3 points, bringing their score to 79. You know, still pretty clean game this first half. Like, I think there's only been, like, 3, maybe 4 penalties. 6 total in the second half. Glow Job and Made in China out there. Made in China has made their way towards the front of the pack. But Glow Job taking that outside, holding on with those toe stops, keeping on that line, but not quite enough. Does pick up a cut track. And that leaves Made in China as your lead jammer. Let's see if they can really take advantage of this power jam, because this is what Rat City needs right now, is a power jam picking up multiple point passes, multiple scoring passes. And this is the first power jam of the second half. Made in China has now picked up 4 points. Let's see if their teammates can give a little offensive help. Although Glow Job is back out on the track, so they're ready to play some defense. Glow Job really breaking up that wall. Coming through a little bit like a wrecking ball. As 1 blocker left, 2 blockers to fight through. Nice toe stop work there from Glow Job. And that is going to be the end of that jam after Rat City picks up 3 more points for a total of 7 in that jam. So they are now at 86 points, holding Wasatch at 130. Rat City has held Wasatch scoreless the last 2 jams. So if Rat City can keep that up, this may be a different outcome of the game. But that is going to be Apollo there on your outside line. Nice quick lead jammer. Rockzilla's trying to get those blockers to keep dropping and is now out of the pack. Apollo's trying to score any points that they can. And is going to call it after picking up 3 points. Right, we're coming into the last about 10 minutes of this game. 33. Was 47 points? Right? I believe that's the score spread. Yeah. Good math. Sorry, I'm mathing in my head, so I got to double check sometimes when it's odd numbers. Knuckles and Stabby Cat out there. Knuckles holding on to that line there. Does pick up your lead jammer. Stabby Cat takes the cover off. Make themselves a little more invisible. Try to get that pack to break up. Finds a little space in the middle there. Knuckles is in the back of the pack against that Rat City wall. Getting a little bit of offensive help on that outside is going to call it before Rat City can make it back into the pack. Oh. I was like, what? Come on, read my mind. Read my mind. You know what I meant. Devil's Ivy and Made in China. Devil's Ivy trying to go to the outside. Made in China taking that inside to the middle. Does some beautiful hip work to the outside. Falls to the ground, but still only has 1 blocker, 2 blockers left to fight through. And there is a penalty that is assessed to that Wasatch blocker, giving Made in China that lead jammer status. Although Devil's Ivy is out and is on a mission to catch Made in China. But let's see what the point score was. There is a point that was scored for Wasatch there. Although Rat City did pick up 2 points. So it was worth it to run it a little bit. 1 point closer in that score gap. 88 is a beautiful number. Just so you know. I was born in 88. I'm also born in August, so that's an 8. 8s are beautiful. 8s and 5s. Roxilla and Apollo. Roxilla getting a little bit of space in the front. Oh, not a little tumble there on the corner. Which, yep, everybody's okay. Everybody's okay. Roxilla had a beautiful one leg there. Oh, nice. Apollo stepped over, picking up 4 points. Oh, maybe we're not okay. 76, I'm pretty sure it's fine. That's rolling right. Like maybe got. 7 minutes left in this game. The score is 142 for Wasatch to Rat City's 88. We have Knuckles out there. I was like, I know there's another jammer. It's just Stabby Cat. There we go. Stabby Cat being recycled back while Knuckles has picked up the lead jammer status. No? There's a star pass. And I think that's Cinnamon Slam. That is the new jammer of record. Knuckles out of the pack for 4 more points, making it a total of 8. Cinnamon tried to take the inside line. Couldn't quite hold that line. Is going to come back and recycle. Knuckles trying to find the space. It's a nice little gaggle there. This nice tight pack. A little hard to see what's going on. I think we have Cinnamon acting as an extra blocker right now. Knuckles going from the outside to the inside. Steps out, recycled back. Cinnamon. Yep. Cinnamon has now made it out of the pack for 4 points. There might not be a lead jammer. I thought there was. There's only about 18 seconds left. Knuckles taking that pack inside, outside, trying to find any space. Does allow her friends to come back and make it a little space for them. Cinnamon trying to take the outside, bumped out, and that is going to be the end of that jam. Rat City now has 97 points after picking up 9 points in that jam. Although Wasatch did pick up 12, and their score is now 154, making it a 57-point game. Less than 5 minutes to go. Ponyboy Hurtis and Devil's Ivy back there. Devil's Ivy hit to the inside, but it is going to be Ponyboy Hurtis that is your lead jammer. Devil's Ivy has found their way out of the pack. Playboy Hurtis has some friends holding people there for them so they can try and get as many points as possible, which I believe is going to be 3, which is correct. That brings them to the century mark. Roxilla and Apollo meeting up on the jam line once again. Apollo finds their way through that middle. Rocky's trying to get past the last couple and does. Apollo hitting that pack nice and hard, but does take the advice of their coach and calls it. They did pick up 4 points, bringing their score to 158. So it is a 58-point game. This score makes it super easy to do the math. Okay. And we have a team timeout. Made in China and Knuckles in this nice tight pack, and Knuckles finds that space on the inside, picking up lead. It's a tough 2-wall here in the front. Master Bowder is your jammer. Right, that was a successful star pass. There were 2 more points there for Wasatch. Now it's a 60-point game. Little over 2 minutes left. It's anybody's game. Ponyboy Hurtis and Devil's Ivy. Devil's Ivy did get the lead jammer status, but was bumped to the inside there, so is going to have to recycle all the way back to the back of the pack. Now fighting again past 2 more blockers. Now officially on the scoring pass after picking up lead jammer. There is a high block that's going to be assessed right there. It looks like we have a little jammer on jammer brutality here. And there has been a successful star pass. I can't see her number, 42. That's going to be Velvet Hammer as your jammer. Pivot turned jammer. While another Wasatch blocker is heading to the box. Some beautiful one-on-one work there in the front from that blocker. Devil's Ivy's back in the pack trying to find that space on the inside, bumped in. Recycled back. It's only about 22 seconds left in this period. Technically, if it was called, it could be over. But allowing those blockers to return to the track. I see the signal from the coach telling them to run it. And that is the end of that jam and the game. And that was 4 more points that were picked up for Wasatch there. Where's that official score? And it is final. Wasatch Roller Derby is your winners of this game with 164 points. Congratulations. Everybody get up and give them a high five. That was a really good game, a really tough one. I'm Hit Me Brewston, and I'll see you on the track.
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win